You got it locked on Roadium Radio.
Due to circumstances beyond anyone's control, Dr. Dre is in the motherfucking house. So right about now, and I say, yo Steve, are you with me? ICE, are you with me?
Here's a little something about a nigga like me. They never should've let me buy tape from Steve. Ice Cube would like to play dope shit mixed by Dr. Dre. And since I was a youth, I like COMPTON. Now I like the motherfucking Roadium. Buying a tape or two, that's what the hell I do. You don't like Tony A? Well, fuck you, this is a game. And I'm in it. Ice Cube will fuck you up in a minute with a right, left, right, making you sick. And then you see Tony A is on the mix.
Tony A! Tony A! When you're ready, go.
And I welcome back everyone to Roadium Radio episode 274. And before I introduce my very special guest, just some minor announcements. I'm going to try to have a show this Friday, Conversations with, to be announced. So other than that, if you didn't get a chance to check out Freaky Tales, we were live last Friday with Gil Carrillo, the man who helped break the case and bring Richard Ramirez to justice. He was here in the building. If you haven't watched it, make sure you guys go check that out. He gave us some extra info that he most likely never gave out before. So I'm very thankful to Gil Carrillo and to the man, Raul Carrillo, who made that possible. Other than that, for those who want to appear on Roadium Radio, please submit your music at roadiumradio@gmail.com. That should be up on the screen, roadiumradio@gmail.com. Please submit music, videos, and a short bio if possible. A short bio is important. Other than that, we'll also be back on Sunday with another special guest. I think that one will be Calls with the Wizard, so we'll be taking calls all night. Mm-hmm. So other than that, you know what? Here's a person that absolutely needs no introduction, but I'm still going to introduce her anyways. Reverie.
Thank you.
How you doing?
What's up? I'm good.
I'm glad you're here.
I'm happy to be back. Thank you for having me. Thank you for always showing love.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, you were here on Roadium Radio before, and then you came on Drinking with the Wizard, and now after your Europe tour, you're back.
I'm back, yes.
Back with the new album. And
back with the new album.
We had talked about promoting it, but what I want to do, first and foremost, I want to ask you, how have you been?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm a little bit tired. It's always hard after I release an album doing the press run.
Right.
Because I'm so used to being by myself all the time. So I'm like giving myself in different ways that I'm not really used to doing interviews all the time. So it's a little bit draining, but it's also fun, you know, but it's cool. I love it. I love what I'm doing. And my No Chaser album is out, and I'm really excited about it. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Somebody that I don't want to forget, because later on we'll get to talking and I'll forget. I want to give a shout out to Erica from B&B Entertainment for making this happen. Erica. Much love, much respect to Erica.
Yes.
Now, last time you were here, you were talking about doing a tour in Europe. I want to know about it, and I'm sure fans want to know about it. Where did you land? How long were you there? What was the first, I guess, where did you land first, if you will?
So I first landed in Belgium.
Okay.
Yes, and I have been to Belgium, I believe, twice before that. But usually in Europe, when I'm touring out there, I don't really get to experience the places because it's just a show and then go to the airport the next day and then just goes really quickly, you know.
Okay.
But it was really cool this time in Belgium. I got to stay there for like a few days and actually see it. So I was in the city of Ghent. I fell in love with it, and that's usually what happens when I do a tour. I usually end up liking the cities the most that I get to stay in and experience.
Okay.
You know, so
in Belgium, how many shows did you do, or did you do any shows in Belgium?
I did one show in Belgium. Yeah.
How was that?
It was amazing. It was sold out. There was I think 300 people there or something like that.
Awesome.
I opened up for Master Ace and Marco Polo Beats.
Master Ace from the East Coast? From
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he still kills it out there. People go hard for him. It was really cool. And he is really cool. Marco Polo is really cool.
And you know what? I'm glad you're sharing this, because one thing that I try to stress to a lot of artists is to here's what I see local artists. I need to impress LA. You have to think international market like yourself.
Yeah.
Not too many artists out here on an independent level can say they've gone where you've gone. A lot of them are so fixed on car shows, you know, and, you know, a club selling tickets, hoping, you know, that they can get 10 people to rap in front of. I always think you got to think bigger, man. You got to think bigger. You're obviously thinking on that level on, you know, there's money to be made out there as well.
Yes.
Stop thinking just California.
Yes.
You know.
And there's also experiences to be had outside too. You know, that's a really important thing to me. When I am making my music, of course, making money is important. I like making money. I have to make money to keep everything going. But I am more concerned with experiencing the most I can out of life and loving what I'm doing as opposed to just focusing on the money. There's nothing wrong with either one, but that's more what I'm focused on. Yeah.
Yes, no, I think that's a good lesson for those that haven't experienced that they hear it from you. Because again, I've worked with a lot of youngsters, and a lot of them, it's weird the way you think because they've never traveled. They're just so busy. Their mindset is, I got to impress all the homies here.
Yeah.
Bro, you got to think outside of here.
Yeah.
You know, you got to think bigger. So I always tell people, if you're going to dream big.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So you go to Belgium, what comes next?
You know, I can't really remember because it was so crazy, and now it's been a few weeks that I've been back, but I did go to, so first we were in Belgium. I also did Germany, France, where were we in Switzerland? I think we were in Switzerland. We were in Bulgaria, and I performed in London and Spain as well. I
So
think it
about
was
7
like
different locations.
Yeah, it was like 6 or 7, yeah.
And how long were you out there total? What would you say?
I ended up being out there for like 5 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, I was supposed to come home like 3.5 weeks. That was what the plan was. But I actually only bought a one-way ticket there because I just wanted to give myself the liberty to do whatever I wanted at the end.
Right.
Because I just felt like something was coming. And when I was in Spain, I did a show there. And then at the show, my homie Roque came. And he and I have been talking about making an album together for a few years now. And so we just decided, hey, let's just do it now. I don't have a one-way. I only got a one-way ticket, so we can do it. So after I was done doing all the shows, I went back to Spain, and I was there for about 10 days or something. And then we made a whole project.
Really?
So it's my first international album.
Yeah, I saw that. And then there was one where, and I'm trying to, you can help me out here. You posted something. You said, I almost didn't make it here, but this was like the biggest audience I've ever performed in front of. Am I correct?
That is correct.
Okay, walk us through what happened.
Holy shit. Okay. I need to try to sum it up. So basically in Europe, when I was there, it was the beginning of Europe's summer. Their summer is a little bit different than ours, but theirs had just started the week that we got there. So the flight companies were on strike, and they did that on purpose so they could fuck up everybody's vacations. Oh. They planned it like that.
Right,
they did it strategically to make the most impact, you know? So I missed 3 flights while I was out there, and it just caused so much chaos. But the worst one was for the one that I posted about. Yeah. I was in France, I believe, and I needed to get to Germany the next day to play the biggest festival I've ever played in my whole life. And the night before the German show, my booking agent calls me freaking out, and she's like, Jordan, they just called me and they canceled the flight for tomorrow. All the flights are booked. I can't book anything. I've been going crazy trying to get another flight. And this was, let's say, 2 hours or 3 hours before I had to go on stage in France. So now I'm like, oh my God, like having an anxiety attack almost, you know, because I'm like, I have to get to Germany tomorrow. And then I also have to go on stage in 3 hours. So we're on our phones and our computers and calling, trying to book a flight, trying to figure out what to do. And every time we found a flight, she went to book it and then it was booked. Or like, it was just all these crazy things happening. Or she found the flight and she was going to book it and then it said, that one's canceled too. So they were all being canceled. Everyone was having the same problem. It wasn't just me. There's everybody on vacation trying to do the same thing we're trying to do. So I actually ended up finding a flight, and it was $1,000.
Wow.
And the flight should be like $80, let's say, $100, yeah. If you book ahead of time, you know, which we did.
Right.
But so I had to pay $1,000 just to get there. But not only did I have to book $1,000 flight, I had to drive, I think it was 2 or 3 hours out from the city that I was at because I had to fly out of another airport to get to another city in Germany that was also 2-3 hours away from the city that I needed to be in on a bus. There wasn't even another flight to go there because of all the cancellations of the flights. So it was just like a humongous obstacle. And then in the meantime, there was other flights that I could have taken, but they weren't going to get there till like, I would have got on the stage like at 8 p.m., let's say. But my set was at 4. And my booking agent was calling the promoter, like, please, like, she told him the situation, but they were like, I'm sorry, but your set is at 4. So if you're not here at 4, you're going to miss your set, period. Like, there's not you know, so they knew what was going on the whole time. And so when I got there, and I had to fly by myself because I couldn't buy everybody else $1,000 plane ticket.
No,
you know, that's a lot of money. So I actually had to go all by myself in another country. I don't speak the languages, you know, like I just speak a little bit enough to get by, you know. So I went by myself and I made it to the show. DJ Euler from Germany, he ended up DJing for me there. And I performed at the Hip Hop Garden Festival. So the promoters were so impressed with me that I made it happen throughout everything. And they actually ended up reimbursing me for the flight.
Really?
Yes.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah, they didn't have to do that. I was just making the investment. I was like, I need to do this, you know, and they reimbursed me, and it was the biggest crowd I've ever performed in front of. It was like 4,000 people, I think.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It was amazing.
That's dope. Any American artists performed that day as well? Like that you may know?
Yes, Run DMC.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so I opened up for him. Yeah.
Wow.
And then Kool Sava from Germany. He's like this dope German rapper. His set was crazy. It was really dope. Yeah.
Now, performing in front of that size of a crowd, were you nervous?
I was nervous, of course. Yeah. Honestly, I get nervous before every show. A lot of artists, they don't get nervous when they perform. I get nervous every single time. Like, sober or drunk, it doesn't matter if it's fucking 50 people or 5,000 people, you know, I get really nervous before. But once I'm on the stage and I hear my voice on the speaker, it's all gone.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a rapper, so I like to ask these questions coming from a non-rapper's perspective. Mm-hmm. Is that a high, honestly?
Oh, yeah, it's an irreplaceable high. There's nothing that can make me feel as good as I feel when I'm performing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. And it's cool to be performing again because prior to COVID, I was gone about a third of the year for the past few years before that. So spending 4 months touring and performing and being on the road to COVID happening and then me not touring for basically 2 years, I think it was. It was an interesting transition. So now I'm starting to get booked a lot again. And I myself also feel comfortable being outside and, you know, and just adjusting to the new norm that we're all having to adjust to, you know?
You had said, you know, whether sober or you know, on booze or whatever, that when you take the stage, you know, once you hear your voice, it kind of goes away.
Yeah.
How is it now performing, traveling, taking care of business, sober, opposed to when you used to party?
Yeah, I mean, it's really different. It's really different being sober. Every area of my life is very different. Maybe not every area, but most areas, and also mostly in good ways, you know. And luckily for me, I'm not a person that has a hard time speaking to people. I'm not the person that's gonna go and be the center of attention at the party. That's not me. But if somebody comes up to me, I don't have a problem talking to them. So I say that because some people quote unquote need to drink because they have social anxiety, you know, which sucks. Luckily I don't have that problem. I can be around people and be myself, so I don't have to worry about that. But it's just really different. Dealing with life is very different sober. But also the thing is, I'm not against drugs and alcohol, and I don't think people need to stop unless there's some kind of issue or problem going on. And it's something that I've struggled with since I was like a kid. So for me, I'm taking a break right now because I just needed to reset everything about me.
And there ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. So you were up there total, about 5 weeks. You come back home and you're like relieved. Okay, cool. But now I got to get busy. You know. Now, one question that a lot of people want to know, and I'm sure you've answered it because you've been on other podcasts, and I'm thankful you're here. Let's talk about the hair thing. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
My hair.
Yes.
Draws off my hair.
So now let me back up a little bit because you had invited me to Pasadena. You were having a release or some type of private event.
I had a private party. It was a album release, secret party from my family and friends.
Honestly, I really, really wanted to get there. We were doing my other podcast, Freaky Tales. We ended around 10, and I thought by the time I get there, it'll probably be about almost 11. I'll only be there maybe 45, 50 minutes, and I was like, I'll go next time.
No worries.
But I really wish I could have gone and supported you. So now I see the pictures at the release.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I thought to myself, this has got to be some type of gimmick. This got to be some type of gimmick.
I know.
Okay, so walk us through it. When did you start planning this?
So this idea started a few months ago.
Okay.
And it started because somebody ruined my hair. You know, I was blonde and somebody burnt my hair off. And
so that's a true story.
That's a true story, yes. And I kind of hid it for a few months. I was wearing hats and wigs and just putting my hair in a bun. And I wasn't really talking about it because I just didn't feel like talking about it. But then I ended up going public about it because honestly, it was just bugging the shit out of me. You know, I thought, oh, I'll get over it because, you know what, things happen. I couldn't get over it because it was on my fucking head, you know? And I'm a woman, and a woman, we are expected to look good. You know, that's just how it is in general. And especially somebody like me who's in the entertainment industry, like I have to look good all the time. So it finally got to me, and that's when I went public about it, and I was like, you know what, this bitch burns off my hair, and she was not honest about what happened to my hair. She should have told me when it happened, yo, I fucked up, I'm so sorry, you know, but she didn't. She acted like she didn't know what happened to my hair, and I swept my hair up off the floor, all over my floor, and then it was just a mess.
So when you say burned, for a person that, you know, obviously doesn't know what that means,
yes.
is it the chemical she put in, or was it something that she put on your like a what do you call that? One of those clamps or
it's not a straightener or anything like that. So basically, I had my hair blonde, and then she was gonna do my roots. I was due for my roots were growing out, you know. So she was doing my roots, and then while we were doing the process, I told her, like, hasn't it been a long time, the hair, you know? And she was looking, she's like, no, it's fine, I'm checking. And then my other homegirl came while we were doing my hair, and then the three of us just started shooting the shit and just, you know, fucking around. And I feel like she just, I don't know what happened. I don't know what the fuck happened. But anyways, when she washed out my hair and she blow dried it, she didn't say anything, okay? Fuck. And so I didn't think anything was wrong. But then when we were done, she said, oh, do you have a broom so I could sweep up the hair? And I said, oh, I'll sweep it. And she said, no, I'll sweep it. And I was like, no, I'll do it so you could pack your stuff. You know, I was just trying to be nice, just to help out. So then I remember when I got the broom, I looked at the floor and I was like, oh. I was like, what the fuck? Like, there's so much hair on the floor. And then I was like, in my head, telling myself, no, I'm tripping. I'm being dramatic. She would have told me. She's a professional. She knows, you know, whatever. I swept up the floor, and then I turned this way, and there's like another, like, all over the floor, like so much hair, like to the point where it was concerning, you know. And then I told myself, I'm tripping. I'm being dramatic. She would have told me. I swept up the hair. And then one more time, I look this way to the other part of the floor, and again, and now I'm like fucking freaking out in my head, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I think she fucking burned out my hair. And I was like, no, maybe I just never seen how much hair fell before. Like, maybe I just never looked because I never swept it up. And I was just trying to like rationalize in my head. And then she left, and then she did a couple other things that now when I look back, it was like, she knew what she did and she was trying to overcompensate for what she did. Like, for example, she's like, oh, I'm going to give you a discount because you always post me on social media. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll take that. A lot of people trade me cross promo for doing things for me, you know? And I was like, that's cool, you know, I'll take that. And then just some other thing. And I didn't think anything of it. But anyways, when she left, I ended up having like a huge rash around my forehead too, like from the bleach.
Holy shit.
And I sent her pictures and I was like, hey, next time we can't leave the bleach on for so long because I have this like chemical burn on my face, you know? And then she said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's never happened. And then that's when I started seeing a little bit of short hairs right here on my thing. But it was just a little bit, you know? And then I said to myself, oh, everyone always says when they do their bleach that happens. So I said, okay, it's just a little bit, you know? And then she told me only wash my hair once a week because your hair gets really dry. Like you don't need to wash your hair when you bleach it because it gets so dry. It's really weird.
Yeah.
So, but after like 5 days, it was like it looked a little bit greasy, you know? And I said, okay, I'm going to put it up in a ponytail because it looks a little greasy. So I put it up in a ponytail and that's when I saw all the short pieces all over like sticking out. And I was like, oh my God, I wasn't tripping. Like my hair did fall off. I saw it on the floor, you know? And then I sent her a picture and I sent her another picture. And then I realized that it was like all around my whole like line, like where my scalp is to my face and my skin. It was like all short. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. That's never happened before and blah, blah, blah. And then that's when it clicked in my head. Oh my God, she fucking knew. There's no way she could have not known when she was brushing out my hair and seeing it all on the floor. Yeah. And then, so then after that, like the next few times that I washed my hair, it was just coming out, like falling. Like, have you ever seen the movie The Craft?
Yes.
Remember when the bitch is in the bathroom and she's like, it just keeps falling. That's how I fell. That's how I fucking fell. And it just kept falling and falling. And it was just, after that, it was just a disaster. And I didn't say anything about it like publicly because whatever, I didn't really feel like it because I was just really upset. And,
right.
And also I just didn't want to say anything. But then I ended up saying something because I ended up realizing that I just wanted to speak about my life experience. It was not to shame anybody. It was just because it happened to me. And I'm an influencer and I talk about things that happen in my life. So if my hair is burnt off, it's a big fucking deal, you know? So that was when it all started. That was when the idea started.
When did you decide like, fuck it, I'm just going to shave it all off? And I mean, like, could that take... For me, I think it would take a lot for a woman to like envision herself like, fuck, I'm gonna be bald. Should I just do it? Did you come to that crossroad? It's like, okay.
For sure. And then, so I have been toying with the idea in my head and kind of telling like my inner circle that I was thinking about doing it and, you know, hearing everybody's opinions. But I knew I was gonna do it. I was like, I think I'm just gonna fucking do it. And then my album was gonna come out. And then I said, you know what? I'm just gonna shave it off from my album so I can have a new look. And so that's kind of how it all came together. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Now, did you do it the day of the release, before the release? Because you didn't put no pictures until after the release. So
I actually did it like 2 days before the release. And I made that Napoleon Dynamite skit. Did you see it?
No.
Okay, so I'll send it to you. And there's a skit on my Instagram. And basically, I remade the scene in Napoleon Dynamite when, you know, the Vote for Pedro guy?
Yes.
He shaves his head. I don't know if you remember that scene. Oh, yeah. He's like, my head was so hot. So I went in the shower and I shaved off my head. So I basically remade that. And I'm like Pedro. And I remade the whole skit. And so that's when I shaved it off, like on camera. And then, of course, when I shaved it off, it was like a big mess. And it looked all, you know, fucked up. So then I went to my real hairdresser, Carlos, and I said, hey, I need you to fix my head. And then I was with DJ Lala, and she was like, you should just bleach it. You should just go blonde. And I was like, And then Carlos was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, fuck it. Let's do it. So then I just did that. And Carlos, he was so mad at me because I basically cheated on him to go with that girl.
Oh, and he's like, that's what you get then.
Yes. And he told me, like, he's like, bitch, I told you, I know your hair. I know how sensitive it is. That's why I was doing it like this and this. And I was like, I know. I was like, I'm sorry.
You know, can you show them that side? Because you have like a line going across, which is dope. There you go. You guys got to see it in person. It's dope.
So this haircut, this is from a new artist that I started working with. He goes by the Art of PD. Okay. And he's on Instagram, TikTok. So he did this and he did my last cut too. But yeah, he's been killing it. He's been killing it. If you guys, he's a mobile barber. So if you guys need a haircut or some dope shit like this, he can do it. The Art of PD.
That'll work. Now I have to ask you a question because first and foremost, I like your sense of humor. People were people were sending me this.
A lot of people don't get it.
See, I get it. You know what? I like to fucking laugh, so let's keep it pushing. A lot of people were sending me this, and they were concerned. And then when I saw it, I believed just a little bit of it, okay? And then I sent it to Erica. I go, Erica, what do you think? Please tell me this is not true. Yeah. The whole Illuminati thing.
Yeah.
Okay. For a minute, you had me fooled.
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay. What happened with that? I mean, why did you do that?
So basically, like, I'll just be on my TikTok fucking around. You know, I shoot the shit on TikTok. I just talk hella shit and just say funny shit, ridiculous shit. And when I shave my head, in the comments, they started saying, oh, it's a humiliation ritual. It's humiliation ritual. And then I was like, what the fuck is a humiliation ritual? You know?
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Yeah. And so then they said, oh, that's what Doja Cat's doing. And then I remembered, like they say when you join the Illuminati, that you have to publicly humiliate yourself. And then that's like a step to get into the Illuminati. And so I thought it was hilarious that people are saying I'm from the Illuminati because I'm a Latina woman, you know, and they don't want people like me. And I just thought it was hilarious. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna make a joke out of this. And so that's when I did that video. I'm like, oh, the Illuminati let me join, but I want out now and they won't let me. And
I want my soul back.
Yeah, I want my soul back. And it just went viral. It's like a million, 1.4 million views right now on my TikTok.
A lot of people believed it.
Yeah, and I didn't know they were going to believe it. I was just thinking it was like a joke, you know? And there's like a bunch of people on if people are coming from TikTok to my Instagram and they're like, oh my God, I'm praying for you. Only Jesus has your soul. I know a priest. I know somebody you could trust. And some people were saying, can I trade places with you? How can you get me involved? And all this shit. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. Even, like yourself, I guess I tricked you. It was not even to trick people. It was just to make people laugh, you know? And a lot of people called me and texted me, like people I know, you know? And
yeah. Because when I first saw it, I was like, she's goofing off. But at the very end, there was something at the very end that almost looked serious. And I'm like, okay, what if?
Yeah, you know? Yeah.
And you're like, only you and TikTok know about it?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. So I said, Erica, what do you think? And then she sent me your story. And then that's when you had said, you know what? All you guys are taking this way too serious.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm just having fun with it and everything. And I was like, okay, cool. So she still has her soul.
Yeah, you know? I still have my soul.
You know what? I'm going to do one. Hey, the Illuminati want me to humiliate myself. I cut off my pee-pee. I want my pee-pee back. Please send it back to me. Mm-hmm. You know, drop it off at the front door. Please, I don't want to be a part of the Illuminati. I wouldn't even know how to joke around about that, but
I know I'd just be bullshitting on there. And then I made it into a whole series. You can see it on my TikTok. I have a tab on the top of my TikTok. It says I joined the Illuminati, and so I started making all these skits to come after. Like I'm like making phone calls with Jesus and with God, and like all this funny shit. And people were getting so upset because they're like, "Oh, you can't make fun of God and you're mocking Jesus." I was like, I'm just making a joke. God made humor. Okay, God wants us to laugh and enjoy life. Okay, so I believe in God.
Yeah,
you know, I'm not trying to diss people's religion. Like that's not what it was about. I literally just wanted to make people laugh.
Right.
But it turned into this big thing. But it was not planned. It was not I did not think that was gonna go viral.
Now, how would you feel if one day you're just at home, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, your phone rings, you pick it up, this is Illuminati, do you want to join?
Yeah.
Were you ever afraid of that call?
No, they don't want people like me.
Do you think something like that really does exist?
I think that there's secret societies, yes, and people, you know, rich people who want to keep all the wealth and power to themselves, and they do whatever they can to do that. And you know, when you have something really powerful, you have to protect it. You know, so I guess they do humiliation rituals and weird shit like that I don't want to get involved in. But I believe that there's things like that out there.
I'm sure a lot of us have gotten on Instagram, do you want to join the Illuminati? I've gotten a lot of those. I just reposted on my story. Should I?
Oh my God, so yeah.
I think that shit's hilarious. But now, how long do you plan on keeping it like that? Do you plan on growing it out once again? Or do you want to chill with this for a minute?
You know what? I was planning on having it for like 2-3 months.
Okay.
I'm really enjoying having it though, so I'm not really sure if that's gonna be the plan after all. Mm-hmm. The reason I like it the most is that I can just get up and go. Like, this is crazy. This is my hair always takes me like an hour to do, you know? And so having this, just cutting it once a week and then just getting up and going is really convenient, especially right now. And especially for me, like with my job, I'm always getting ready for the camera. I always have an interview, I always have a music video shoot, I always have a photo shoot. Something's always happening. So to cut out that extra hour off almost every single day, it's been really convenient.
Okay.
And also I really like how it looks. And I know people are really liking it, how it looks on me as well. So I feel like it's a good move for now.
Do you get recognized a lot?
I have been getting recognized. I mean, I always get recognized a lot. Every time I leave my house, I'll get recognized. Yeah, every day. And it's been funny, though. A couple people, like fans, they didn't know it was me. Like, they meet me, and I'm like, oh, hi. They're like, hi, I'm whoever I'm. Oh, hi, I'm Reverie. And they're like, Reverie? Do you rap? I was like, yeah. And then they're like, oh, you cut your hair. I didn't recognize you. And I was like, oh, yeah.
You know, it's crazy because, okay, look, I do this podcast sometimes 3 times a week. Sometimes it all depends. It might be 4 times a week whenever I do Freaky Tales, okay? And I trip out because I get recognized at least once a day. But being a man, I get approached 99.9% of the time by men, okay? By men. But sometimes, and I'm saying this to the men, I got much love for you guys, but please understand where I'm coming from. When I'll be at a bar. I was in Ojai. Have you ever been to Ojai?
No, but I know where it is. It's up north, right? Like northwest,
like 2 hours away from here.
Okay.
I don't even remember when I was up there, but I was at a bar, and I remember I was just ordering like it was at a brewery, and I ordered the beer. I didn't even know what kind of beer because I don't know. All I know is Pacíficos de Modelos. Okay. So I ordered, let me try that beer. So I ordered, and I turn around, and I see a guy, and he's like this.
Yeah.
That's my face.
With the shit face, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just like looking at him, and he's just smiling. His smile's getting bigger and bigger. And as a man, I think to myself, and believe me, I'm not here to offend anybody. I'm thinking, I hope he doesn't think I'm gay.
Yeah.
So he comes up to me.
He's like, his smile's getting bigger every time they make eye contact.
Yes. So he comes next to me, and he's like, and he looks at me, and I was like, what's up, man? He goes, Tony A?
Oh, my God.
And I was like, yeah. And he goes like this, put it there.
Oh, my God. Put it there.
I'm like, look, bro, if you're a fan, it's cool. But this time, don't fucking stare at me like you did last time, bro.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
What's good, man? He goes, can I buy you a beer? We're not going to drink it together, but yeah, you could buy me a beer if you like.
Oh, my God,
so I just wanted to get that. But I get recognized a lot like that. Me and my son have gone out to eat, and then guys show up, like I post, here at this sushi spot, blah, blah, blah. And I've learned not to do that anymore when I'm there.
You do it after. They show up.
They show up. This guy walks in, he's hanging onto the door, and he's leaning like this, looking at me and my son.
Oh, my God, yeah.
I'm like, this is weird bastard. He just keeps, and he goes, Tony A? And I was like, yeah.
Tony A?
Yeah, that's what he said. And I said, what's going on, man?
My God.
I'm a fan. And I was like, all right, cool, man. All right, cool. And he goes, you guys eating already? And I was like, yeah, we got a table full of food. And they're like, all right, see you guys later. So we ordered the check. Once we were done, he had to pay for everything.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so it's very nice.
But
sometimes
really
the approach is just a little weird.
Yeah, there's definitely some people that don't know how to approach.
Do you you got a weird story?
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God, where do I start? I mean,
just give us one good one.
Okay, like in person? Yeah. I'm trying to think of like the weirdest one in person. I mean, you know about my stalker. That's that's probably number one, weird as fuck. But let's say like somebody that like I mean, I would say just the weirdest shit. I can't really think of something off top, but I do remember one thing. When I would go to raves, I used to go to raves a lot, and people would come up to me because they would recognize me. But they will be like rolling balls on ecstasy, So they're like, "Oh my God, Reverie!" And then they're like, "I love your music," and they're like grabbing me and like like all rolling. I'm like, "Whoa!" Like, what the fuck? Like, it was just like, stop fucking like touching me. You're like squeezing me like it's a massage. Yeah. So I don't really like meeting people when like at a rave or even like at bars when I meet my fans at bars. Now sometimes it's cool. But sometimes they're really wasted, blacked out. I could see it. And then I know because they're repeating the same thing over and over and over. I'm stuck there for 4 minutes. And I'm looking at my friends like, get me out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't really like meeting people when they're fucked up.
You know, that's true. I've met a lot of guys when they're fucked up and they're standing there and they're like you don't know if they're about to fucking throw up or fall over.
Yeah.
And they're like, you all right, man? They're like, I'm just a fan, bro. And I'm like,
Shit.
like, fuck. All right.
Oh my God. You know what? I do remember one weird story that I'll share with you. Okay, so this was a few years ago and I was doing a little photo shoot from my clothing line, the Satori Mob, with Encrypt. And then this guy came up to us and he's like, what are you girls doing? And then she's like, oh, doing a photo shoot for Reverie. And then he's like, Reverie? I know Reverie. And then I was like, looking at this fool, I was like, I don't fucking know this fool. And then he's like, oh, then Encrypt's like, you know Reverie? He's like, yeah, that's the homegirl. She's like, that's her right there. And he's like, oh, what's up, Rev? And I was like, what's up? He's like, you don't remember me? I don't remember what his name was, Joe or something. He's like, oh, I'm Joe. And I was like, oh, okay. No, I don't know you. He's like, yeah, you don't remember me? We used to kick it all the time in San Pasqual back in high school. We used to mac all the time.
Damn.
And I was like, I don't fucking know you. And then he's like, yeah, you don't remember me? We used to mac all the time in San Pasqual. And I was like, I don't know who the fuck you are.
Right.
And he's like, oh, you want to act all Hollywood? Or I don't know what he said, like some weird shit. And I was like, no, I know every person that I'm act on, and you're not one of them, for sure. I don't know who you are. So get the fuck out of my face, you know? And then he was like, oh, that's fucked up. Like, I know your brother. And then he named my brother. And then I was like, well, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
like, he probably just grew up also in Highland Park and heard of me before. And now has this crazy story that he used to mac on me in San Pasqual. It was so fucking weird. And then Encrypt was like, yo, you better get the fuck out of here. Because, you know, and it was so weird, though. Like, he was literally looking me in my eyes, telling me that we used to mac all the time.
He was convinced that you guys used to mac.
Yes, and I always was like with a really small circle of people. Like, I don't even know who he was.
You know, the sad thing is that I think that there are certain groupies out there, there are certain fans or fanatics that probably love what an artist does so much that they've convinced themselves, like, you know, probably look at your album cover or probably look at your picture, start sticking out their tongue. I used to mac her. And then now they meet you. We used to mac all the damn time.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm like, he probably goes around telling everybody that, you know? I don't even, literally, I did not know who he was. Like, it was really weird. It was really weird.
Okay. So now, and
it was funny because he said all the time, too, wasn't it? And it was funny because Encrypt, I've been best friends with Encrypt since I was like 15, okay? So she knows everyone I know, too. And so she, like, if I don't know someone, she doesn't know them either. And if she knows them, I probably know them. And we both were like, what the fuck? Like, no, we don't know you. Like, we would have both remembered you, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, well, you know, if you're watching, you never macked. So.
Yeah, keep dreaming. It'll never happen.
So
keep my name out your motherfucking mouth.
Exactly.
Goopy ass bitch. Shit, these motherfuckers are crazy. People be making up stories. It's so weird.
No, I'm glad you said they be making up stories. But the crazy part is when they believe their own fucking stories that they make up.
Yes.
You know, it happened. I know it did. I bet you they'll bet the motherfucking house that it happened.
I put it on my mom and they're fucking.
I mean, I had this one guy tell me, I'll put that on my unborn kids. They're not even born, you fucking asshole. You don't even got a girlfriend.
Oh my God.
Unborn kids.
That's so weird. And I've had people message me too and they say, oh, what's up, Rev? We used to be best friends in high school. And like, no, we didn't. I always had a really small circle. I was never the person that has friends with everyone and like the popular kid. Like, that was not me. My circle, just like today, my circle is very small and I'm very private with my friends because that's just how we are. Yeah. And I've always been like that ever since I was a kid. So when people try to come at me, I'm like, what the hell? Like, it's not like I'm 75 with dementia, you know? Like, I remember when I was in high school. Yeah, I'm not Biden, you know? So it's just crazy. Or like somebody messaged me one time and then they're like, oh, Rev, how you been? I remember we used to go to school together. And then I looked at the person and I told myself, I don't fucking know this person. And I just felt like fucking around that day. So I said, oh yeah, what school was that? And they said a school that I didn't go to. I never went to that school. I was like, what the fuck? And I told him that I didn't go to that fucking school. You fucking liar. Fuck you. Because I'm like, they're probably telling everybody we were best friends in school.
Right.
You know, we didn't even go to the same fucking school. It's just so weird.
Has anybody ever shot like a picture of maybe you guys in high school and said, look, you're my friend? Has anybody ever done that?
Not yet.
No, yeah. But
And
now
even, maybe I met them in high school once, you
Right,
know,
right.
or maybe we had a 1-6 period together, you know,
Right.
but that doesn't mean that you were my best friend, you
Right.
know, and it's weird. Yeah. Or I will see people sometimes, like, let's say if I don't know, at the rare chance that I'm going to be at a club, it's very rare that I go to clubs, but
Right.
if I'm at a club, sometimes somebody will be there and then they'll be like, oh, Rev, what's up? Like, oh, we used to have 4th period together, remember? Oh, we were so cool and blah, blah, and blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, what the hell? Like, I'm in my head, I remember you, but we were not close like that, you know? And I just say, oh, all right, yeah, what's up? You know, and they're like, trying to hang out with me the whole night. And, oh, this is my friend Rev. Like, she made it. We had 4th period together. I'm like, we're so cool. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I don't play along with it. I won't say, oh, yeah. You know, I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to stand there like, you know, like, what the hell is going on here?
You know what? This is a $1 million
People be
question. Why do people
tripping.
do that shit? Why? Like,
I think for the clout.
you know, okay, like for me, I never get people to tell me, remember me? We used to hang out. Remember me? Every once in a while, you ain't shit. And I'll put, thank you. Have a blessed day.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, sometimes I may have time and I say, yeah, you're right. I ain't shit just like you, puto. You know, but I never get those. But every once in a while, you know, I'll just see people on the street. You don't remember me? I used to get buzzed with you back in the neighborhood. I'm like, probably, bro. I don't remember you. I'll just straight tell them.
Yeah.
I don't remember you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I used to hang around with you. And they'll name a couple of buddies. I said, maybe I was there and I left and then you showed up. Maybe
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I said, yeah, but I don't remember you. Yeah, yeah. One guy got really hurt. We went to the to the beach swamp meet.
Oh, my God.
And he came up to me, hey, what's up, dog? And I was like, what's up, man? I swear to God, I'm thinking, who the fuck is this guy?
Oh, my God.
Remember me,
the
man?
worst.
We used to kick it in your neighborhood and we used to do this. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Who in the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
But he kept trying to talk. Let's get a picture together. All right, cool. I'm over here pointing at his ass. Yeah, this is the homie right here. And I'm like, who in the fuck is this guy? I swear, I didn't know who in the... To this day, I don't know who in the hell he was.
Yeah.
He found me on Instagram, send me the picture. You don't remember me? I don't know who in the hell you are. So I literally even sent
He
it.
sent you the picture.
Yeah,
That's funny.
because I was so confused. I literally sent it to some of my friends that we would hang around together. I said, do you recognize this guy? Nope.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just somebody that wanted just to be cool, I guess.
Or maybe he went one time to hang
Right.
out with you randomly with someone else, and then he thinks you remember him. And
Yes.
Yeah, people are really strange.
So now, getting back to the private party that you had, the album is out. I want to get into it, but are you going to have anything else for the album, or are the release parties over?
No, I'm gonna have a release party. To all my fans who are watching, we're gonna have a release party, and I'm gonna give you an exclusive. We're gonna do a show for the fans, and it's just gonna be a $1 show.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's also gonna be free for the people that are on my texting list. So I'm gonna post the number soon. Or if you want to sign up now, you can just look before I drop my album. You know how I did that like storyline?
Yeah.
So there was like a number right there. It said text this number for info. So if you text that number and tell them you want to go to the album release party, you'll be in for free. For the people that don't go on the texting, it's just gonna be $1. Because I want to do like a fan appreciation show. That's what the point of that is, you know. So that I'm gonna do that soon.
Okay. You don't have a actual venue or a date yet?
I don't, but I'm thinking it's gonna be next month.
Okay.
Because I'm just so busy right now. I just don't have the mental capacity or time to do that right now. So I'm thinking next month.
For people that may want to buy your CD, the hard copies, or the album vinyl, would you have any of that there for them to purchase?
Yes. I mean, I don't know about the vinyls because the vinyls we only made 195.
Okay.
So, and this is the vinyl right here. We made 195 of these, and I don't know that there will be more in October.
Okay.
So right now there is still some. So if you want to get one of these vinyls, you can get them on my website, satorimob.com. But as far as that I can't promise that they'll be there, but
Okay.
we do have CDs for sure. And these are collector's items. There's only 1,000 of these. And
Okay.
then inside there's like a cool booklet, and it's a really dope collector's item. So these are the original presses. We're not going to press them like this again. So if you get this or the vinyl, this is the original press of the No Chaser album.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody were to write a message on satorimob.com that they want to autograph, would that be extra or would you throw that in?
So the vinyls are actually all autographed. And if you want me to autograph your CD, I could definitely do that. Just after you place the order, email us, satorimob@gmail.com, and just say, hey, I was watching Roadium Radio and I saw Reverie say that she'll autograph the CD for me, and I'll do it.
Okay, okay. Can I see the album,
Yeah.
please? I wanna talk a little bit about that.
So the track list is shorter on this one, so you can reference this track list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me look at the album really quick. Okay. Now for all you DJs that collect vinyl, order two. Okay, order two because we like doubles. Okay. Well, many times we have one just to put in our our record case, if you will, to like we're never gonna touch this one. This one stays sealed, and then this is the one we play. And we do the same thing with CDs.
Okay.
So-
Oh yeah, you know what? I actually brought you another one because Erica said to bring two. I think. Did you want two of them?
Well, I just wanted these.
Okay, cool.
So,
Cool.
yeah. So you autographed this one already?
I did, yeah.
Oh, yeah, right here.
I did it small because I just think that the album art's so nice. I didn't really want to interrupt it.
Okay.
A lot of people have been messaging me and they're like, "Hey, you didn't autograph my vinyl." I'm like, "I did. It's just really small because
right
I
here.
didn't want to interrupt
If you
the
bought it,
art."
it's down here at
Yeah.
the bottom.
They're
Okay.
all signed for sure. I made sure.
Okay. Now, as far as this right here, can you explain what are you doing?
I'm throwing up gold all over Los Angeles.
Throwing up gold. And what is the science behind it? Like, what is the meaning behind that?
So the album's called No Chaser, and the reason I named it that was because it's raw, it's uncut, it's gritty, it's straight to the point. You know, when you're taking back shots of whiskey or tequila, whatever you want, they say you want a chaser,
chaser.
no chaser. You know, you just want it raw. So
Okay.
that's how I feel about this album. It's just raw and
Where does this
rugged and hardcore, you know? So that's me throwing up from drinking too much. But the way I see it, it's like I'm throwing up gold because for me, all the pain and trauma that I've been through and I go through in life, I turn it into something positive and something beautiful that comes out as gold.
Dope.
So that's the kind of the metaphor for that.
Anything about the burnt cop car?
I mean, you know, just the fucking violence in LA, you know, you got to put some crazy shit.
Because you got the ghetto bird right there, so that's dope. Okay. So this one right here is mine. So now I want to reference some of the. Let's go through the songs.
You know what? I'm so sorry. I have to take my dog to the bathroom. She keeps crying. I think she has
for
to
real?
go to the bathroom. Yeah. Give
All
me,
right,
like, give me
cool.
like
So-
2 minutes.
No, it's okay. So here's what we do. Alex, do me a favor and put this camera over here on me. Okay. Ready? Okay. So once again, satorimob.com, you can get this vinyl. Okay. Has side A, side B. As a matter of fact, I'm going to open it for you guys. And let's see the record. Oh, shit. So I got to grab it right because a real DJ knows how to grab a record. And it actually looks green. And it's dope because it has Highland Park. Yeah, it's a green vinyl. So it's a rare collector's edition. Okay. So, and then on the other side, it has Hollywood. So that's dope right there. So once again, if you're a fan of Reverie, you want to support, get two, especially if you're a DJ, you know, so that way you could put one away, spin the other one, or you can cut both of them up, you know. And it's dope because not too many artists today actually press up vinyl, but with the artists that I'm working with, we're going to be pressing up some vinyl and hopefully some 45s and even some cassettes. You know, and the cassettes, obviously, a lot of people don't have boom boxes, but the reason why we do the cassettes is because a lot of people just like the whole nostalgic feel of buying something that's a cassette and putting it away as a collector. I still have a lot of vinyl as a collector. I don't necessarily play them, but that's what I do as a collector. So if you're a collector, make sure you go to satorimob.com and purchase the vinyl. And then if you also want the CD, here's the CD too. A lot of people, I still have a CD player and I still bump CDs, okay? A lot of people say, oh, because you're an old dinosaur. Yeah, I'm an old dinosaur and I still bump CDs, okay? So, and this has a total of 15 songs. So we're about to go over every song as soon as she comes back in from walking her doggy. So other than that, we're going to try to get some calls in. If not, I got to respect her schedule and, let her go. But once again, we're going to try on Friday. Be looking out on Friday. I believe I have an artist booked for conversations with, meaning we just sit down, we conversate, any topic, and then we give the audience an opportunity to call in and to chop it up with us and ask us whatever the hell you guys want, okay? Then Sunday, even though I booked them a while ago, they haven't confirmed yet. So hopefully they get to come through because they want to take calls from the fans. So that will be a Calls with the Wizard. And let me give, once again, Freaky Tales another plug. Freaky Tales, last Friday, Gil Carrillo, the retired detective who helped break the case and bring Richard Ramirez to justice, was here in the building. So, it's all good. Make sure you guys check that out and tap into Freaky Tales. So, Reverie's back. Everything good, Rev?
Yeah, my dog is needy sometimes.
It's all good.
As you know.
It's all good. So let's go. So the name of the album is called No Chaser. You already explained that.
And that's my 13th album in 13 years.
That's 13th album. That's dope. That's dope. Now let me ask you this, just for the fans, because people that are fans of yours, something might have turned on and said, wow, is she ever going to release all 13 albums? Like possibly hard copy or maybe a USB. Is that available?
So I have hard copies of some of my projects up on my website on satorimob.com. And right now I'm actually working on getting all of my albums up on the streaming services, because right now I think there's 9 of them. So we're missing 4. Okay. So actually within the next couple months, I'm going to start putting them all up. So then I'm going to have all 13 projects up on all streaming services. And I will make more physical copies of them. I've made physical copies of every album, I believe, but they're gone, you know, and they sold out. So I do definitely want to make represses, but I'm not going to press them like the originals. I want to press them differently so that they're all significant.
Here you have All Eyes on Me, track number 1. Talk to us about it. Why did you name it All Eyes on Me, and what's the song about?
So All Eyes on Me, it's obviously a reference to Tupac. You know, I grew up listening to Tupac. I still listen to Tupac. He's still one of my favorite rappers. And we sampled him on that song, and that song is just me flossing. I'm just talking hella shit. And that's an interesting song because Loudon and I wrote it together. Like when we were making the record, Loudon's like, oh, I have this concept of this song and I want you to write the lyrics, but I want to give you the ideas. And we don't really do that too much. We rarely have done that like at all. So he was saying, oh, I want to say something like this. And then I was making it into a rap and rhyme and making it all make sense and making the flows, you know. So that was a cool thing about that song. Okay. And it's a banger. The song is a banger.
Dope.
Yeah.
Number 2, Penthouse Keys.
Penthouse Keys. So Penthouse Keys, I wrote that song 3 years ago when we were in our first penthouse. So that was the first time we lived in a penthouse in downtown, and I was just feeling big and bad, and I wanted to make a song about it, you know. I was like, and there's a line, I'm like, my car is German, penthouse keys in my purpose. My car is German, penthouse keys in my purses. I know my purpose. I traveled the world like a circus. So that song was written then. So this project was actually made since 2019 till this year. So it's been like 3-4 years. Okay. So the majority of it was made in 2019 though. Okay. Yeah. I take a long time to put out my projects.
So you had been working on it for a while then?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Number 3, Los Angeles featuring Sick Jackin.
Yes. So shout out to Sick Jackin. That song, Los Angeles, it's just a ballad to LA. You know, me and him are born and raised in LA, always represent the city, and it's just about growing up there and living there and loving it. The love, hate, the bittersweet, you know, the good and the bad, the balance. It's a banger. And actually, I'll give you another exclusive. Yes. We're gonna drop a music video for that next week. Dope. So everybody who's watching, next week, the song Los Angeles with me and Sick Jackin, it's gonna drop with a music video.
Awesome. Because I believe you posted pictures
I did. I've posted some pictures. And
Okay.
also Danny Trejo is in the music video.
Hell yeah.
So he and I did some acting in that together. And it was really cool for me, obviously. And for everybody else in the video, everyone was like, oh my God, freaking out, you know, because obviously Danny Trejo is a fucking legend.
Yes.
And we all respect him and admire him. And he paved the way and continues to pave the way for all of us, you know.
Yes.
And so I'm so honored that he did that for us.
Hell yeah. Track number 4, Hail Mary featuring Yellow Hill.
Yeah, so that's another banger, and it's another Tupac sample. We sampled
Okay.
the Hail Mary song. Me and Yellow Hill are on there just killing it. We are rapping really fast. We're doing the choppy flows on there, and it's another banger. The album, every single song is a banger. Every single song on the record is a banger. But we're going to make a music video for that one soon, too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That'll work. Number 5, Gas, Ass, or Grass.
Yeah. So that song, it's just a really pumped up song. I'm just talking shit. The beat's a little experimental and really hype, and it's just bars. It's just pure bars. Yeah. It has a really cool chorus. I like that one. Actually, I like performing that song live. I was performing that song over the past couple years. Well, I guess before COVID. So I guess like a year in 2019 when I wrote it, I was performing that song on the road just to see how it was going to be live. And that's a really good song live. That should be making people
You were
mosh
pretty much
pit.
testing out the market, see if it's going to go.
Yes.
Okay. Then we have, okay, help me out with this. I see Glass
Idols.
or Glass Idols. That D threw me off. Glass Idols featuring, is it R.A. I can't read that one.
R.A. the Rugged Man.
Rugged Man. I was going to say the Gucciest Man out. So
Yeah, R.A. the Rugged Man. So Glass Idols. Shouts to R.A. the Rugged Man. He's fucking amazing. He actually took me on tour last year. It was awesome.
Dope.
He's a really dope MC. He's a dope person. And I mean, I know I keep saying every song is a banger, but it's such a fucking banger.
Right.
And you know what? R.A. is a fucking rapper. Like, he's a real MC. Like, that fool has a sick fucking pen game. And if you hear it, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's such a dope song. And there's a music video for that one out on my YouTube.
Oh, right now? Okay.
And I actually directed and produced that music video as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Track number 7, No Chaser.
Yes.
I know you spoke a little bit on the album. Is it the same thing, pretty much what you explained about the album cover?
Yes. That's the title track. And that was the last song that I made for the album.
Okay.
The majority of it was made in 2019. I made 2 songs in 2020 and then 2 songs in 2021. So I made that song, I believe it was in November of last year. And I was just going through a lot of personal turbulence and just issues. And that's when I wrote that song. And when I wrote, actually, you know what's interesting? I haven't said this on an interview, so this is another exclusive I'm giving you. But that song, No Chaser, was not even supposed to be on this album.
Okay.
And the album was not named No Chaser yet. The album was done already. And then I ended up making that song, No Chaser. And that's when I came up with the name No Chaser. It just clicked in my head because I had a wild night with no chasers and I fucking threw up everywhere, you know, and then I relapsed around that time. And because I didn't do any like hard drugs for like a couple years.
Okay.
And then around like last year I basically relapsed. And so I was inspired by it. I was inspired by the relapse and I knew that I didn't want to keep going down that path. Anyways, that's when I wrote that song. And when I wrote that song, I was like, holy shit, this is a good fucking song. And I want it to be on that album. And it's going to be called That Song. That's the fucking title track. So that's how that came together. Yeah, so that wasn't even on it. If you listen to the project, that song, now that I've said it, it kind of sounds a little bit different than the rest of it. And that's why. Because it was written in a completely different mind state and time.
Now, you had said it wasn't supposed to be on there. Was there a reason? Were you just like, I'm just going to leave this to the side and just release the album? But you just figured, it's such a dope song, I got to add it?
Well, it's just that the album was done already.
Okay,
the album was done.
So it was never meant to be on her, period.
No, it was never, like, I don't know when we wrapped the album, when we supposedly wrapped the album. I want to say it was like in the beginning of last year. And then we didn't make anything else because that was it. It was done.
Right.
But then it was just taking a long time to finish the other parts of making the album, and just for me to put out. I was also releasing my other album. My last album was called Sometimes I Like to Sing. So I wasn't really in a rush to finish that album anyway, like really finish it, as in like the mixing and mastering, you know? But it was all recorded already. But then when I made that song, No Chaser, it was just like, I was like, this is the missing piece to that album that's already done, but it's going to be more done with this on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to, number 8. Sin Esperanza, did I pronounce that right? Okay, Sin Esperanza. Let me see, featuring, I'm having a hard time, featuring
Turekem.
Okay, share with us.
So Sin Esperanza, it means like hopeless in Spanish. And so that's what the song is about. And Turekem, he's a really dope MC. He's from Mexico. And I actually made that song with him in Mexico.
Oh, shit.
Like, I think it was in 2020. I was in Mexico with my homegirl, Mr. B Baby, celebrating her birthday. And then he and I had been talking about making a song recently before that. And then when I was in Mexico, we were in Rosarito, and he said, hey, my label wants to fly you here since you're already in Mexico. Come here so we can make the song, and we could even make a music video, and we'll even make 2 songs and music videos. You can have one and I can have one. And I was like, hell yeah, let's fucking go. So then when I went there, that's where we made that song. And then I also ended up making, while I was there, I made friends with the other people from the label. It's called Alzada, Alzada Records. And I ended up making songs and music videos with like, I don't know how many other artists, like 5 or something like that. Actually, I just dropped one of them today. I dropped a new song. It's called Never Die with Toser One. And he's from Alzada. He's from Mexico as well. So shout out to the Alzada Familia. They took care of me, and I have a lot of love for them and their artists. And so that song, it's a really dope song. And he's rapping in Spanish, and he has such a sick flow. He's a really dope artist. It's very powerful. So that song is one of the more emotional songs on the album, but it's still a banger. Like, it goes hard.
Yeah. That was track number 8. Track number 9, Drink Until I Throw Up. That's pretty much self-explanatory, but enlighten us.
So the interesting thing about that song is that I was actually completely sober when I made it. When I wrote that song, I think I was like, I don't know, maybe a year and a half sober at that point. I like to take periods of sobriety when I need to. So when I made that song in 2020, I was completely sober. But I felt like fucking getting fucked up and doing drugs. And I said, you know what? I know it's not a good idea. So I'm going to just write a song about it and kind of live vicariously through my lyrics.
Okay. And then number 10, Drug Dealers featuring Bella.
Yeah.
Yeah, Drug Dealers featuring Bella. Okay.
Shout out to Bella. Shout out to Bella. So that's another Tupac sample on there.
Okay.
And so Bella, I met Bella, I think last year. Or maybe in 2020. And we've been cool, and we were talking about making a song together. And so she came through when I was living at the last penthouse with Loudon, and we made that track. Yeah, and that's a banger. It's a banger ass track.
That'll work.
It's for all the drug, all the pushers out there, all the pushing P's out there. Listen to my Drug Dealer song, you're gonna like it.
Dope. And then here we have track number 11. If I'm correct, it is Ready or Not, and this is International MC Cypher?
Yeah, International Female MC Cypher.
Okay.
I don't know if it says female on there, but that's a really special track. So that's probably one of the most special tracks on the album because it is an international female cypher. So what that means is that there's 6 different female rappers on there from 6 different countries rapping in 6 different languages.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's, we have America, obviously from me, Mexico, Brazil, Italy, India, who am I missing? Fuck. Why did I put myself on the spot? Oh my God, I can't remember. But there's 6. There's 6.
Well, they got to buy it to hear it. So.
Yeah. Oh no, sorry, I remember it. And then French.
Wow.
Yes. It's rapping in French, but they represent Switzerland.
Okay.
Yeah, because in Switzerland they speak French and German.
Okay.
So yeah, so it was, and then we also have a DJ from Belgium on there, and then we also have Cici the Mamacita on there, and then also DJ Leslie on there, and then also DJ Lala is doing the scratches.
Oh, dope.
So that's a really dope track, and actually that's one of the tracks that's getting the most plays on the album.
Really?
And I've always wanted to do that. I always wanted to make like
Has
an international.
anybody ever done that before?
I've never seen someone do that. I've never seen anybody do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's what makes it special. So
Yeah.
Track number 12, Promises, featuring Gavlin.
Yeah, shout outs to Gavlin. And we have a music video for that on my YouTube as well, Promises. So Gavlin, damn, I've been fucking with Gavlin for like 10 years now. We both basically started rapping together like back in the day, 10 years ago. And she's one of my really close friends. She's one of my best friends. Like me and her kick it. Well, she moved recently to Oregon, so I haven't been seeing her as much. But when she lived in LA, we kicked it all the time. Like just not working. Like we basically never worked together. We always just hang out. And like she's one of my really close friends. Like I confide in her, and she's just such an amazing person. I'm very proud of her.
That's dope. So track number 13, hopefully I'm reading it right. Extra for Guacamole.
Yeah, Extra for Guacamole. So that's like a little interlude. It's just like a little fun song, and I mean, it's just a little fun experimental song. Yeah, that's all I need to say about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Track number 14, it says Nightmares at the Rodeo.
Yeah, Nightmares at the Rodeo.
Featuring, I'm having a hard time reading that one. Something Nasty.
Hot So Nasty.
Hot So Nasty.
Yeah, so that's actually one of my brothers, one of my little brothers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's like a singer. And he wanted to make a song with me and Loudon, who is also our brother. And so that's the song. And it's kind of like almost like a hip hop country song. It's a really cool blend. It's a really dope song.
That'll work. Okay. This Love Is My Religion, featuring Aaron, I'm sorry.
And that's my sister, my little sister.
Oh, okay.
So again, she wanted to make a song with me and Loudon, who is our brother. And so I knew I wanted to make something like dancey because she sings. She's a singer. And I wanted it to just be something that you could dance to. And so that's that song. And it's cool. I want people to play that song like in the clubs. You could dance to it.
Now, I'm going to have to twist your arm on this one. I'm going to have to ask you a question. If you had to pick your top 3 out of these 15, which ones come to mind? Do you want to look at it?
Yeah, for sure. No Chaser is number one.
Chaser
though. I think that's the best song on the album. No Chaser is the best song on the album. My other favorites, damn, that's kind of hard. But yeah, I think No Chaser, and then I really like the Ready or Not International Female Cypher.
Okay.
I think that's like a really amazing like piece of art. I think that's a really amazing piece of art. And then I guess for the last one, I really like Penthouse Keys.
Okay.
Because it's just talking shit. Like that song is talking shit, and I like talking shit sometimes, and I just think shit's all over all my haters, and it's great.
Hell yeah. Okay, now narrow it down to one song out of those 3. Which one would it be?
No Chaser.
No Chaser.
Yeah, that's the best. For me, that's the best song on the album. And it maybe not be the most commercially successful song. That's not why I like it. Those are just my personal favorites for how they literally sound and what they mean. Those are my favorites. Yeah.
Okay. Now,
because I like all the songs, you know.
No, that's dope. I'm definitely going to peep it out, and then I'll let you know which one's my favorite.
I would love to know that.
Yes, absolutely. Now, once again, SatoriMob.com.
Yes.
Go buy the CD or buy the album, and then make sure you guys follow her. Her tag should be up on the screen, and it'll be up on the description as well, so that you guys can follow her and be in touch when she drops the release party info. Okay. So now I saw something on your page, because I like to try to be not only a student of rap, but also keep up with events that rappers are doing. Hopefully this wasn't a joke. Maybe it's real. Were you getting tattoos removed?
Yes, I'm getting tattoos removed. It's real.
Okay. Now, first and foremost, how old were you when you got your first tattoo?
I think I was 15.
Okay, 15 years old. Did you get in trouble? Or?
I mean, yeah, but I was already out of control at that point in my life. If I'm 15 getting a tattoo, you're probably out of control, you know? Right. So, I mean, what can my mom do? You know, my mom beat me until I was 12 and I started fighting back. So we would get into fights. Me and my mom would get into fights. And once we had a few fights, she realized, oh, shit, I can't fuck her up anymore. So, you know, that's why it's not good to depend on hitting your kids for discipline, you know, because one day they're going to be as big as you are. And you're going to instill all that rage in them. And it's going to come out.
Yeah.
And so after that, we didn't have a good rapport. So she couldn't discipline me anymore. So what was she going to do? You know, I was out wild and running the streets.
How are things between you and your mother now?
They're a lot better now.
Okay.
Yeah, I have forgiven my mom for everything. I definitely still deal with the trauma that she caused me when I was a child, and I need to go to therapy. I've been saying that for years. I haven't gone yet, but it's on my to-do list. But you know what? My mom did the best she could, and you know what? I'm all right now. You know, so it all worked out, and my mom did the best she could. And to be fair with my mom, we have so many generations and generations of dysfunction and violence and abuse in my family. So her parents beat the shit out of her. Their parents beat the shit out of them. Their parents beat the shit out of them. It's not like she just woke up and started beating my ass. You know, like that's just all she knew.
So it was pretty much she was repeating the cycle, if you will?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Now, let me say this. 1 of 10 kids, and I used to get my ass beat more than every kid in my family, okay? But I'm gonna be real with you. My mother's no longer here. I've never lived with any type of trauma, and I'll tell you why. Because every ass whooping that I got, I deserved.
Okay.
Like, I knew I had it coming. I knew if they told me don't do it, I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
I was that fucking kid.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and then when they used to whip me, I'm not gonna lie to you. Now, this might sound evil, but here's a Roadium Radio exclusive.
Okay.
When they used to whip me, I used to dance. Wham! And I used to just keep dancing. It doesn't hurt. Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. One time my dad chased me and he fucking threw a brick in my ass.
Oh, shit.
And I just started dancing like a ballerina.
Oh,
shit. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. Like, I was literally like mocking them.
Yeah.
So, but here's the crazy part now. But I have to live with that because I was like, fuck. I was bad and I didn't even have to.
Yeah.
So, but, you know, every ass whooping that I got, I deserve. So that's I have to live with that. So, anyways, but now obviously yours was a little bit different, you know.
Yeah, I don't have that same feeling with my mother and beating me. I don't feel like that. So it's very different.
Yeah. I even told my mother before she even passed. I apologized to her and I apologized to my dad because I told him that I was bad and I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
You know. So so now how many tattoos total do you have before you started getting them removed? Do you remember?
I have no idea.
If you had a guess?
So many.
20, 30?
Maybe 20.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Now.
I have no idea.
When
Let me count them real quick because I'm curious now.
Go for it.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I have 24 tattoos.
Okay.
I've never counted them in like years. Okay. Everyone always asks me. Now I know.
Okay. So
24, like Kobe.
24. Okay. So now, what was it that made you, motivated you to say, I think I'm going to get them removed?
I'm not removing all of them. I'm only removing 4.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. And what was the reason behind that? Maybe some dude's name or something?
No, I've never gotten a guy's name. I wouldn't do that.
I know.
No.
Just
Only if I'm married, then I'll get it. But until then, I'm not gonna get a guy's name. But I'm removing this one and this one.
Okay.
Because I don't like what they represent. I don't like what they mean to me. And I don't care to share what they mean.
Right.
But because it's personal, but I don't like them because they just remind me of times in my life that I thought I wanted to think about and represent forever, but I don't want to think about those parts of me anymore. Okay.
So that's just if you will, old wound that opens up old doors that you don't care to go through anymore.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the other two, I just don't really like them.
Okay.
They're obnoxious and I don't like them.
Okay.
So shout out to Homeboy Industries. They're removing my tattoos. And we're going to be doing some collaborations together as well soon, like with a writing workshop.
Okay. Is it painful? Because I've heard it's painful.
Yes, it hurts like a motherfucker.
Really?
Yes. It hurts like a motherfucker. It hurts really bad. But this is the thing that I always tell people, do you want to remove them or not? That's it.
Yeah.
Because I want to remove them. So I'm about to sit in that fucking chair and burn alive. And look how big mine are.
Yeah. So
They're
they started
big. They're really big. And I get them all at the same time. They do one and then the next one and then the next one and the next one.
How many treatments have you gone through so far?
I've gone through 3 and they look like they're brand new.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That's so fucked up. No, I can see the difference for sure, but it's very subtle.
Is it? What does that machine do?
So basically, the way they explain it to me is that when they shoot the laser inside, it's like exploding the ink, like spreading it out.
Oh.
So that's why when you spread it and spread it and spread it, it's like dissipating in your skin. So it's still gonna be in my skin, but it's just gonna be like spread out, so you can't see. Like there is small changes on the tattoos. I do see them. I do, but I'm just like, oh shit.
Okay, like this one, I'm looking at it. It looks a little dull. Was that the way it was before?
Yes, but it's duller now. It's a little bit duller now. And there's like little pieces, like I'll show you. Like you see this part right here? You see how it's like really like shady?
Yes.
But they used to be like lines and like a little bit of shading, but now it looks like kind of like it exploded. Like I can see what they're talking about. So you can't really like, it doesn't look like shading anymore.
How many more did they estimate it's going to take for there?
Oh man, I think they said it could take between like 5 and 12 sessions or like 7 and 15, something like that.
Is it really expensive to get them removed?
Homeboy Industries does it for free.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow. That's dope. That's dope. And like me, okay, I don't have not one tattoo. Yeah. Okay. And I like art. I usually tell because I have a lot of friends that are tattooists. And they always tell me, man, let me hook up your arms.
Yeah.
I like art. I just don't like it on my body.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I like it and I appreciate dope art, you know, but that's just me. A lot of people ask me, how come you got no tattoos?
Yeah.
You know, the only time that I ever wanted to get tattoos when I was younger, it was just going to be some hood shit and when I was drunk.
Okay, yeah.
See, and then I'm thinking, man, can you imagine if I would have did that? I would have to live with that.
Yeah, that would suck. Drunk tattoos are a no-go. I don't know if I've ever gotten a tattoo drunk. I don't think so.
Now, do you plan to get any more after you get these removed? Are you going to recover that again?
You know what? I don't know, but it's basically going to come down to if they can remove it all. Because they might not be able to remove some of the greens. They told me that sometimes the greens doesn't come out. So if I'm going to be like with little green spots, I'm about to have to fucking put something over it.
Okay.
Which hopefully I don't. I want it to just be blank. You know, I want my skin just blank. Especially on these ones. I don't want tattoos right here anymore.
Okay. What about face tattoos? Are you into the face tattoos?
Oh man, no, I'm not. I'm always battling not getting them.
Oh, so that does cross your mind then?
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay. I have 24 tattoos. Of course, it's crossed my mind. It's crossed my mind many times, and then I'm always like, no, you better not. You better not. I just, you know what? I do like looking feminine, you know. Yes. I know with this haircut it's very masculine, but I enjoy being a feminine woman, and also I know I have a lot of masculine elements to me and traits, you know. So, but with like how I look, I like to look feminine, at least in some ways. So I feel like getting tattoos on your face is just like really next level masculine, and I just don't really like that.
Yeah, it'll probably make. I would be a guy. Let's just say I walked up like, oh, how you. She looks like a gangbanger now. Yeah,
and people already look like a chola, you know, because that's just how I look. And so if I had a face tattoo, it would just be a little wild.
Okay, so now this album right here just dropped. Once again, SatoriMob.com. You can get the vinyl, you can get the CD.
Yeah.
And I know we have maybe about 5 more months left in 2022. What else can your fans expect from Reverie? You just mentioned you have a next month, I believe, the release party. I know we talked about the Sick Jackin' video. what else can fans expect from you the rest of 2022?
So for sure, I'm focusing on this album right now, as of now. So we're definitely going to drop the music video with Sick Jackin' for the Los Angeles song next week. And then we also have a music video for Penthouse Keys that we're going to drop. And then, I mean, that's all I'll say for those things for right now. Because I don't like talking about things before they're like really ready, you know. But as far as shows, I'm going to have a show in Chula Vista. I'm going to have a show in Los Angeles. I'm going to have a show in Long Beach. And I'm also going to most likely have a show in Oakland. So look forward to a bunch of live performances coming. And then also, actually, I'm going to do a show. I'm going to perform at a festival in Greece at the end of this month. So I'm going to go to Greece for a festival in Athens. Yeah, what's up, homie?
Yeah.
Athens. And then so that's about it for now. And then, like I said, in a couple months, I'm gonna be putting out my old projects on the Spotify and stuff like that.
Wow, you know what? I'm glad you're winning.
Thank you.
Please let me know when you're going to be in Long Beach. Is that going to be like a club? Is that going to be what is that going to be? Because I would like to go check you out.
Okay, cool. It's gonna be a free show. Actually, you're gonna have a free show in Long Beach. And it's gonna be outside. Okay. Yeah, they have like this cool event.
Day or night?
I don't really know the time, to be honest, just yet. But I would say in the evening-ish. Okay. And I'm collaborating with Catalyst. They're this really dope weed dispensary, and they have a bunch of different locations. I think they have like 12 locations now or something crazy like that. Yeah, they're doing really good. I celebrated their grand opening with them in San Bernardino a couple weeks ago. So they are now throwing these cool events in Long Beach, and they're booking me. I forgot the exact date, so I can't give it to you right now, but I think it's in October. Okay, what about the LA one? Who would you be performing with there, if you could remember? The LA one, I don't have anything booked yet. And I'm going to throw that show. Oh, it's just, and it's, it might just be me performing it. Maybe I'll probably have some special guests, like people on the album. I'm going to probably ask them to come perform the song with me, you know, which would be awesome. But it's going to be more just like a fan, like just appreciation for the fans. Yeah. That'll work. And it's only going to be $1. Yeah. For all the broke fans, everybody, you know, a lot of people don't have money right now. A lot of people are struggling, and I just want to give back to my fans. They're fucking awesome, and I appreciate them. That's dope. Okay. We have a couple of more minutes. Anything you want to promote, anything you want to push, anything else out there, you know? I guess just add me on all my social medias for those of you who are just finding me now, and those of you who know me already but didn't know I have these social medias. I'm on Instagram, TikTok. My TikTok is popping off. YouTube, OnlyFans, Twitter, and then you can find my SoundCloud, and you can find my music anywhere you listen to music. Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer, Napster. It's up everywhere. Okay. And my new album, it's called No Chaser. Go stream that shit. And you heard her right. OnlyFans. Yes. Okay, we covered that last. Yeah, so I have on my OnlyFans subscription is free right now. So if you want to go be a lurker, you can go ahead. Go ahead right now. Oh shit. Alex, sign us up. Okay. What about MySpace? I'm only playing. I wish. I tried to get on my MySpace and it's like all gone. Really? Yeah, really. Seriously. It's really sad because I had so many fucking pictures and memories on there. So you tried logging back in and they just deleted it, or? I got in and it only had like 8 photos. Oh. And it didn't have like my music on there. It didn't have comments. It didn't have messages. I don't know what they did to the site, but it was all gone. Are people still even on that site? I mean, that's why they're not fucking on it, Tom. Yeah, exactly. Goddamn, deleting all our shit. It's true. I remember I deleted mine. I had like over 10,000 friends, and I just got tired of that bullshit. I just deleted that shit. Oh my God. Yeah. So then I never tried to go back on there. But now, one last question. As far as producers, who were some of the producers you worked with on here? So Loudon made all the beats on the album. Okay. I helped him with a little bit of them, but he mostly did all the beats by himself. And him and I did the production together. Okay. Yeah. Like with the recording, with the executive producing, like who we wanted on it, the direction of the album, the mixing, the beat breaks, the concept of the album. It was a collaboration between him and I completely. And that's why his name is on the cover with me, Reverie and Loudon.
Oh, yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, Loudon is actually my little brother, my real brother. We popped out the same pussy. So he's my real little brother. And this is, I think, like the third or fourth, maybe the fourth album that we've done that he made all the beats for it.
No shit.
But he's recorded almost every song for all my projects. Mm-hmm.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, shout out to Loudon. And he's doing these really cool sessions lately. He's like making beats live and showing people like how he does it. So yeah, you can add him too on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. It's all Loudon Beats.
You know, a lot of people mention TikTok. Is TikTok a good avenue for promotion?
You have to go on TikTok immediately.
Okay.
Like that.
All right.
That video that everyone was talking about, the Illuminati one,
yeah,
it's only on my TikTok. It has 1.4 million views. They got 1.4 million views in like 1 week.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I have like almost 70,000 followers on TikTok.
Wow. Okay. Do you get, and I'm using the word action as far as, for lack of better words, as far as, do you get more communication on TikTok or more feedback on TikTok than you do on Instagram? Or is it a different type of networking?
It's a really different type of networking. I would say TikTok is really good for just making new fans. Instagram has fucked creators with their algorithm.
Yes.
And they also shadow ban people. I think you're shadow banned because I tried to type in your name and you have to type in almost your whole name for you to pop up. And you're the only underscore Tony that I'm following.
And this is my 6th fucking page. They deleted 5 of my fucking pages.
You told me, yeah.
You know, and I'm thinking like, bro, like, you know, Facebook owns TikTok, but I've had my raggedy ass Facebook for the longest fucking time. And I never got fucking deleted. I just post and I get out. But here I am on Instagram. And then one day I try to log in and you're kind of been disabled. Motherfuckers. And it's really nobody you can contact.
Yeah, they don't get back to you.
You know,
so yeah, Instagram, and also Instagram is trying to be TikTok now. You know, with the reels, like they're only showing you reels. If you post a photo, it doesn't get any interaction at all, basically, you know, because they're trying to compete with TikTok. But I don't think people are really liking that. You know, if I want to scroll aimlessly and look at ridiculous videos, I go to TikTok for that. Instagram. Yeah. Excuse me, with Instagram, I enjoyed looking at people's photos. I enjoyed looking at people's stuff. Now, their algorithm is so whack. I see the same 10 people every day, all day. And it's like, they don't even show me everybody I follow. I'm like, sometimes I'll see someone in person. I'm like, oh, I never see you on Instagram anymore. Do you post still? And they're like, yeah, I post every day. I'm like, what the hell? It never shows me you. Why doesn't it show me you? It shows me the same 10 people. I get sick of these 10 people. You know, it's so annoying.
I post at least 3 times a day, and then my son tells me, I don't see you no more. And we follow each other.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, all right, well, now I do. I post and I just send it to him.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's really fucked up. I think they really are turning people away on that platform. I'm shadow banned too, and it's so fucking annoying. Yeah.
All right. Oh, well.
So TikTok is definitely the move. I would encourage all of my content creator friends to go to TikTok. Don't abandon your Instagram yet, because it's still for sure important. Right. But for sure, you want to make the transition now, because I keep telling people right now, it's like the gold rush of TikTok. Because whoever goes in now, you're going to have the advantage. You're going to have you're going to be at the forefront. You're going to be ahead of everybody. Everybody who's saying, oh, TikTok's stupid, it's just all about little dances. You don't need to do dances on TikTok anymore. It's past that phase. Okay. So everybody who goes in now is going to be way ahead of the game compared to everybody else who is going to start using it in 3-4 years. Because that's what's going to happen. Just like we transitioned from Facebook to Instagram, and then how we've transitioned from MySpace to Facebook. Right. Now the transition is happening from Instagram to TikTok. It's going to happen. It's happening. It's not something that's avoidable. So to go in now, you're going to have a head start over everybody.
What about Twitter? You like Twitter?
I like Twitter. I have Twitter. I would say Twitter's pretty steady. Twitter's pretty...
Really? Yeah. I try to get into it. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just
That one's a little different.
Okay.
That one's a little different.
I'm going to make my
Definitely
own
cool, but...
a porn on TikTok. So
TikTok. There you go. That's good. That's good. Subscribe. Link in bio.
Yeah, exactly.
TikTok. That's awesome.
So, no dick pics, you guys. Just subscribe. Okay. Other than that, we out of here. Shout outs. Anybody you want to diss, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to all of my fans, everybody watching. Thank you, Tony, for having me into your team. Thank you guys for always showing love. Shout outs to Loudon and Crip. Shout outs to DJ Lala, all my team, Stephanie, and I'm just really blessed and grateful to have dropped my 13th album in 13 years. As an indie artist, I'm doing things that most indie artists will never do because I'm putting in the work like most indie artists never do, and that's why I stand out. And I just want to keep reminding people that if I could do it, you could do it. I'm still unsigned, no record label, no corporate funding, no major label, nothing like that. Like, it's just me and my team, and we're just putting in the work. So I just want to say thank you so much for the support.
Awesome. You know
and go stream my new album, No Chaser.
Go stream her new album. And let me say this, and I say this, you said 13 albums, you're independent, you know, you have no corporate funding or nothing like that. So I want to say that somebody that's been in the industry since 1987, that I look at you, and not only are you an inspiration, but I also want to say I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
So continue to keep winning, continue to go forward, continue to be an example to a lot of artists that want to learn how to do it, and you pretty much just laid the blueprint. Keep working.
Thank you.
Keep working.
Will do.
So other than that, let me give a shout out once again to Alex Cervantes Enterprise. I'm gonna give a shout out to Norbert. I'm gonna give a shout out to my son B. Scanless, who was just here. He took my keys. And then I'm gonna give a shout out to the Hip Hop Jedi. Also Erica B&B Entertainment. Once again, give a shout out once again to Reverie. Once again, go to Satori. What was it?
Satori Mob.
SatoriMob.com.
Or ReverieLove.com if that's easier.
Yeah, or ReverieLove.com. And make sure you subscribe to her OnlyFans because it's free right now.
Yes, it's free. Okay. Hit me up.
Yes, hit her up.
It goes down in the DMs.
Not mean. Okay. All right, we out of here, you guys. See you guys here on Friday. Thank you, Rev.
Yeah, thank you.